calendar year, so into June 21st of 2022. Our Office of Early Childhood Development has piloted this throughout the Commonwealth to allow, while we've been virtual, to get electronic signatures. That's needed for medical assistance. It's needed for our regulations and licensing. And so Ocdel has piloted HelloSign, and we've had some drug and alcohol providers who have used it as well. And so we thought we would slowly enter into the opportunity to use the electronic signature platform, even though we would continue it beyond, with us returning to office. There's still some situations where getting a signature from a family or an individual, this could be beneficial for. So we're starting with a medium amount of signatures that we would be approved for, and then piloting it throughout to see how it works. We had a trial run with HelloSign. I worked with Chad Joyce to kind of see how it works. And so we're just presenting the contract as an opportunity to see how we can improve our efficiency when we have to get signatures like that.
Okay, thank you, Natalie. Any questions or comments on this contract? Okay, we're hearing none. Is there a motion to approve the contract to next week's consent agenda?
Did you want that approved immediately, Natalie, or next week?
No,
Okay.
we would like consent. We still have to get some further solicitor input and clarify some language in the contract that we want. So actually, consent is helpful to us.
Okay.
Margaret, help
So,
with that.
Motion to add the contract with HelloSign to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on this? Hearing none, all those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay, thank you very much, Natalie.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a information technology services contract with us on today's agenda, and we'll turn it over to Margaret for this one.
Okay, this is a contract with CDWG for the renewal of Palo Alto Threat Detection Services. The contract total is $11,450 for the period of August 12th to 2021 to August 11th, 2022. And again, this is a renewal contract. We already have the Palo Alto services in place.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. And we look for a motion to add this to next week's consent agenda.
Motion to add the contract with CDWG to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any final discussion before we vote? Hearing none, all those in favor do so by saying aye.
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 Motion has carried. Okay, thank you very much, Margaret. Moving into our grant section, we are going to turn it over now to our coroner, Scott Sayers. We have 2 items for his office, and we'll turn it over to Mr. Sayers. Good morning, Scott.
Morning, gentlemen. What this is a working statement with the Department of Health in the Prescription Monitoring Drug Program, DMAP, to establish a connection between the coroner's office, computer software, and the Department of Health's electronic death reporting system, the EDRS. The agreement's up for $5,000 to bridge the 2 together, and the submission of the application from the Department of Health Bureau Health and Statistics registries to extract information from like our drug overdoses. So what is it's a $5,000 grant to bridge the gap between our computer software, which is called Quincy, Department of Health, and the death register reporting system, and the DMAP, the drug monitoring program.
Okay, thank you very much, Scott. Any questions on the work statement or the submission of the application? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion to add both to next week's consent agenda?
Sure, happy to. I know Scott and his staff work quite hard, so happy to add coroner items 1 and 2 to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on those items? Hearing none, all those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Thank you very much, Scott.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Okay, moving into the planning and community development section of the agenda. We have some items for CEDACOG and for both items here. We will turn it over to Ray Stalinas, our director, to see if there's anything to mention before handing it over to Mitzi.
Sure. Thank you, commissioners. The two items we have on this morning, as you know, we have existing professional administrative service agreements with CEDACOG for their services under Community Development Block Grant. And these are two amendments that are project specific under environmental review in Davis-Bacon and also the PA Prevailing Wage Act. So if Mitzi has any other details, I'd let her share them with you now.
Good morning. When we did the original professional service agreement, we did not have any information about projects. So there was nothing listed in the contract for delivery fees for environmental reviews or labor compliance. So this amendment, two amendments, one for the 16 through 19 and then one for 2020, allows those delivery fees to be paid to CEDACOG.
Okay, thank you very much, Mitzi. And Ray, any discussion on either set for the fiscal year 2020 or fiscal years 2016 to 2019? Okay, very straightforward. We appreciate you bringing this in front of us. We'd look for a motion to add it to next week's consent agenda.
Motion to add planning and community development items 1 and 2 to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay, Ray and Mitzi, thank you again.
Thank you.
We have before us this week's consent agenda. We have items for human services and facilities management. Would there be a motion to approve this week's consent agenda?
Motion to approve this week's consent agenda.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
The consent agenda has been approved. Okay, moving into authorities, boards, and commissions, we want to recognize two entities that are having some reappointments, resignations, and some appointments, new appointments as well. For the Ag Land Preservation Board, we have the reappointment of Cindy Harding, Rob Hoover, and Thomas Songer III. We also are recognizing and appreciating the service of Frederick Moore, Fred Moore, his resignation is effective as of May 2021. For the MHID-EI Advisory Board, we are welcoming Christy Kaufman to fill the unexpired term of Melissa Pell, Dr. Pell. Also, Tim Durstein, Dr. Durstein will be appointed. And then we're also recognizing the reappointment of Greg Gartner, who is reappointed as well. So we look for a motion to approve those resignations, reappointments, and appointments.
Motion to approve the ABC resignation, reappointments, and appointment.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on those appointments, reappointments, and resignations? Hearing none, all those in favor do so by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion is carried. Okay. Margaret, we'll turn it over to you for an administrator's report.
Just a reminder this morning that this Friday, June 25th, will end our employees' work status of rotation in and out of our offices with a full return to office on Monday, June 28th. And then followed by a full meetings in person on Tuesday, July the 6th. So that is just around the corner. And I want to remind everyone that starting Tuesday, July 6th, we will be meeting in person. So 2 weeks from today.
Thank you, Margaret. I think two huge milestones we're looking forward to. So thank you.
Yes.
Okay. We have no discussion items today, but we will turn it over to Commissioner Higgins for today's check run.
Thank you, Mike. So for today's check run, let me pull up my notes here. The check of the week is to Community Services Group, which was mentioned earlier in today's agenda, for their mental health services provided during the month of May. The checks were $26,861.82. And our current check amount is $873,741.71, which is just more than about half of a normal check run. So we'd like to make a motion to approve the check run dated June 18th.
I will second that.
The check run has been moved and seconded. Any final discussions on it? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving do so by saying aye.
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 Aye, the motion is carried. Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. And we will go to Commissioner Dershowitz, turn it over to him for a voter registration report.
All right, when we do have one. As of this morning, we have 105,041 registered voters. The highlight reel appears as follows. Democrats, 44,117 voters. Green Party, 137. Libertarian, 688. No affiliation, 13,938 voters. And the Republican Party has 42,294 registered voters, which when you add the sum total of all the other parties of 3,867, you get 105,041. The highlight party this morning is the None of Your Business Party. Well, it actually is our business to keep track of these things, and the None of Your Business Party has one registered voter. So, okay, we have a precinct feature today. It's precinct number 23, which is State College South Central number 2. They vote at the Grace Fellowship Church on William Street. And the total registration in the primary was 901 voters. There were 321 ballots cast, which led to a percentage turnout of 35.63%. And the folks that make it happen, the precinct 23, the judge of elections is Jeff Kern, minority inspector Mark Horn, majority inspector Michael Smith, and the clerks include Melissa Yonan, Jeffrey Whitmer, Heather Hunter, Janice Mose, and Natasha Turco. Again, we want to thank the folks at the Grace Fellowship Church for allowing us the opportunity to use their facility, and we'll look forward to seeing you in November. So that is my report for this morning.
Thanks
Okay.
for choosing my home precinct, Steve. Big shout out to all of my local election judges and officials.
I would assume you were part of that 35% turnout then, Mark.
Yes, I was.
All right, good job.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. Okay, we are going to be just making sure and announcing that our offices will be closed Monday, July 5th in observance of Independence Day. We would look to see if there are any executive sessions we would need to report.
Yes, the Board of Commissioners met in executive session on Thursday, June 17th from 3:40 to 4:10 p.m. to discuss a personnel matter.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. We have the balance of our public meeting schedule here for the next upcoming weeks. And we have no election announcements today. At this time, we would entertain any questions from the press before we look to adjourn. Any questions from the press before we look to adjourn? Okay, all right, we are hearing none. We would look for a motion to adjourn then at this time.
Motion to adjourn at 10:16.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of adjourning do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you.